it was pointing to Kanye West. And then it so happened the next day he comes up there. This is the same guy that got on, and I don't want to blow nobody else's platforms, or got on Drink Champs about a year or so ago before Diddy was arrested, talking about Diddy was a fed, you understand? F Diddy and all this other stuff like that. And then he talked all kind of crazy about Diddy. And that's how these dudes in this industry do, man. They ain't got no loyalty to themselves, bro. So by him going on there, and now they say him and Diddy made amends and stuff like that. Remember I think he did a t-shirt, a shirt or something to say free Puff and all this other stuff. So Kanye is on his, he's looking for the attention. And for him to be mentioned in the trial, and they didn't let it go through, because the reason they didn't let it go through is because they said it wasn't pertinent to the charges that Puff was facing. So what happened, Jane went to Vegas, and she was invited by allegedly Kanye West and his wife and them and everything like that. And they went to plays, they went to show, they went out to eat and everything. And then later on that night, they went to a hotel room, whereas there was some other couples in there too, and some other people. And there wasn't a freak off, but it was one of the guys who does the freak off with her there. And they were all sitting around watching and drinking while this guy was having with another worker or whatever like that. And while all them just watching him have and stuff. I guess it's some rich people industry that they do. But they were just sitting around watching this dude have a live porn section right there in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So she started talking about that incident in court. And that's how Kanye West's name came up, and which they didn't say his name, but they said his name because it was an objection done. You know how they do, objection, rule, all this other stuff like that. So they said it was a rapper who married. They gave a description of it, and it pointed straight to Kanye. And then it so happened the next day he goes up in the courtroom with Diddy and them sons. That's just crazy, bro.
Katt Williams has never been the type to sugarcoat anything. Every time he steps in front of a mic, he drops a mix of jokes, truth, and sharp opinions that hit louder than most comedians ever dare to speak. Over the years, Katt has talked about Hollywood in ways that very few entertainers are willing to touch. He has said more than once that fame is never free, that artists who shine bright often pay a cost the public never sees. Some lose their peace, some lose their direction, and some, he claims, lose the people closest to them. Now, Katt's latest focus is Kanye West, the man now known as Ye, and Katt's comments paint a picture that's intense and emotional, not factual accusations. According to Katt, Kanye's rise didn't come without heartbreak, and he believes
is it true that you were at the Halloween party that Puff's sons and Ray J got into it?
I was, yes.
Kanye faced pressure, loss, and emotional damage as he climbed higher. Katt often talks about the industry using fear, manipulation, and tragedy to wear artists down, and he says Kanye's story reflects that pattern. When you look back at everything that happened around Kanye, from the sudden loss of his mother Donda West to the circles of influence he moved through, Katt's opinions start sounding less like wild theories and more like warnings about the emotional toll fame can take. In June 2025, Kanye shocked everyone when he appeared at Sean Diddy Combs' highly publicized trial. Diddy, once one of the biggest names in music, was facing serious federal charges, and almost everyone in the industry distanced themselves immediately. But Kanye walked into the Manhattan courthouse wearing white, and when asked if he was there to support Diddy, he simply said, yes. That one word stunned people. To some, it looked like loyalty. To others, it looked like Kanye was still connected to circles that Katt Williams has warned about for years. Katt's belief is that Hollywood has something he calls the system.
And see, that's when I knew that Kanye's mom, Kanye would have never wanted Donda dead. Not even by natural causes. I was happy when he finally accepted it. because they sacrifice your loved ones, whether you agree or not. See, sometimes you agree and they put you in position, you know, but sometimes you disagree and they take them anyway to show you what the harm is. You know, it's Giovanni. His death is why I do what I do.
Katt, a network of powerful forces that reward silence and punish resistance. Kanye himself once claimed he felt controlled by similar forces, which made his appearance at Diddy's trial feel even more complicated and emotional. Back in November 2007, Kanye suffered the loss that changed his entire life. His mother, Donda West, passed away after surgical complications. Kanye was devastated, stepped away from performing, and openly blamed himself, saying, "If I had never moved to Los Angeles, she'd still be alive." To Katt, Kanye's guilt wasn't just grief. It was the realization that fame had changed everything. Katt has often said that when an artist rises too fast, something personal can be taken from them emotionally or spiritually. He calls it a ritual of loss, a symbolic idea that success comes.
You've A&R'd for Ye.
Absolutely.
You've A&R'd for
I put
Wiz.
Nicki on Monster. I put Nicki on Monster.
You can just stop there. You can stop there, right?
I put Nicki on Monster. He didn't know who Nicki was back then. I had Nicki pull up to the studio and I put her on Monster.
Because you guys were, I think me, you, and you guys were super close at that particular time, right?
Right, but she was still coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
And
was.
I saw her in the studio and I said, oh my God, this bitch is talented as hell. And then I went back to Kanye and I was like, you need to get this girl Nicki on Monster. And he was like, who, what? No, I'm not, no, And I said, just let her pull up. What's it gonna hurt?
She did it.
So he didn't listen to anything that she had done. She just pulled up and like with that verse.
Well, she pulled up and we all had a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
She heard the song and then she came back the next day with the verse.
And he almost wanted to take the verse off.
Because it was too good.
It was too good.
She slid on that.
Yeah, he told me that the same day.
Did
He's
you-
like, how the did you bring in a bitch that killed me on my own song?
With painful trade-offs. Katt points out that Kanye's fame hit global levels after 2007, turning him into a full cultural symbol. But behind the achievements, Kanye often appeared emotionally exhausted, grieving, and carrying trauma from his past. In some interviews, Kanye even talked about feeling like his mother's death was tied to the pressure and decisions surrounding his career. His words, not proven facts. To Katt, Kanye's comments were emotional confessions, not evidence. Years before Kanye became a billionaire, he dated model Amber Rose, and their 2-year relationship was everywhere in the media. After they split, Amber claimed Kanye mistreated her emotionally and insulted her for years. Later, Amber revealed she had attended multiple private parties hosted by Diddy, events that have since become the focus of multiple law.
And I'm not saying no freak-off party, just the regular parties. He wanted to be known, and so, you know, he was doing music for everybody, and he was doing music for Diddy. So, I could see him being a supporter, but then when they all got big and started getting a lot of money and everything like that, they start going at each other crazy. You understand? And he felt like that because I believe Puff was the one probably introduced him to Kim Kardashian, if I'm not mistaken. I think Puff had something to do with him getting with Kim Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? Because she used to mess with a couple of dudes, a dude from BMF first, and she was around, so I would presume that Kim and Kanye West was all right back in the day, and then when they started getting money and they started going at each other and stuff like that, and then Kanye fell out with the Kardashians, and none of the people that he thought was supposed to be cool with him helped him, so he just started going at everybody. So it was strange after that whole drink trap, and then, you know, when Diddy got arrested, he did say some things because the government, he may look at the fact the government may come after him. So he may become an ally of Diddy's, but everybody that's gonna be around them gonna go down, man. This crazy, man. You gotta realize that he has no way out of this, bro. He has no way out of this. It either have to be a mistrial or, but then if it's a mistrial, they still go back to the drawing board. You understand? That don't mean he gets out of jail. They just do another trial date. So I believe, and my prediction on this, that was just all show for Kanye to come up in there. You understand? The jurors, if you know anything about the jury and having Kanye to support you, I don't even think that's a good thing. But maybe they think it is. It's gonna, throw something, some kind of public opinion Diddy's way. It's stupid. That would be one of the last persons I would have coming up there to support me, knowing his relationship with the Jewish population. The stuff that he said about the Jewish population. Why would you have that man come up in the court and say anything in your behalf?
Both lawsuits and testimonies, Amber described those parties as shocking, filled with powerful people acting in ways she found disturbing. She didn't accuse Kanye of wrongdoing, only that those circles existed around many big names in the industry. And since Amber met Kanye through the same music world Diddy dominated, people began connecting dots in ways that raised questions, even though none of it proves anything. In October 2024, Kanye's former assistant, Lauren Pisciotta, filed a lawsuit accusing him of misconduct during a studio session reportedly co-hosted with Diddy. The lawsuit claimed the environment felt uncomfortable and compared the atmosphere to the wild parties linked to Diddy in other legal filings. Kanye's legal team denied all accusations, saying the claims were false and driven by money. This wasn't the only lawsuit Kanye faced that year. Another former employee accused him of inappropriate behavior as well. None of these cases have been proven, and they remain allegations, not facts. But Katt Williams sees these legal battles as signs of a larger pattern. He believes that when a celebrity begins pushing against powerful systems, those same...
She went to one of the freak-offs, but they said that it was a rapper who was married, and everybody, all the information that came out, it was pointing to Kanye West.
You're the one that put him in a position where he thought he was God and could call himself Jesus. And you're the one told a guy that writes musical lyrics that he was a genius. Mm-hmm. You're the one that's like, so what do you expect? The guy married a whore.
Systems turn on them? According to Katt, artists who resist can end up isolated, accused, or portrayed negatively in the media. He claims this is what Kanye is facing now. Not proof of guilt, but an example of how harsh Hollywood can be. Both Kanye and Katt have spoken about feeling controlled by outside forces. Kanye once shared screenshots of messages where his trainer allegedly threatened to have him institutionalized, claims that raised questions among fans. Katt has also spoken about handlers, people he believes are placed around stars to guide or limit them. He says these people don't always protect the artist, they monitor them. Katt believes that when artists stop obeying or stop staying quiet, the spotlight turns into a weapon against them. From that point of view, Kanye's public breakdowns, unpredictable interviews, and spiritual transformation could be seen not as chaos, but as a man trying to regain control of his own life. During Diddy's ongoing trial, one of the most troubling testimonies came from a woman identified only as Jane.
Breaking news, Sean Diddy Combs was just sentenced to 50 months in federal prison. Yeah, that's right. After all of that, all that they gave him was 50 months with credit for time served, which I believe is like 13 months off of his sentence. It's another day in America and another message to victims that what they went through, what they suffered doesn't matter, and that justice will never be fully served in this country. Now, don't get me wrong. If it was you or me who got convicted of those charges and got sentenced, we definitely would have gotten more than 50 months. But Diddy is rich. Diddy is powerful. Diddy has sway with powerful elite people. And because of that, that judge just sent a message to everyone that his life is more important than the life of his victims. Somebody needs to send out a forensic accountant to check all of that judge's financials and see if he's seen any large sums of money in his bank accounts, any offshore accounts, any crypto wallets. I mean, Diddy's not coming home today, but in my opinion, 50 months is an absolute joke. What do y'all think?
And she said she was pressured into intimate acts while dating Diddy, and claims she once traveled to Las Vegas with a famous rapper described as an icon in the music industry. She did not name Kanye. Nothing connects Kanye to her situation. But the testimony made audiences revisit the environment surrounding certain powerful circles. To Katt Williams, all of this, Kanye's grief, his legal troubles, his industry connections, and the pressures around him is part of a bigger emotional struggle that he believes many artists face when dealing with fame and power. Although the court has not publicly named the rapper mentioned in the testimony, some online observers claimed the description sounded similar to Kanye West. But again, that is public speculation, not confirmed fact. Reports mention late-night dinners, strip clubs, and private hotel gatherings where boundaries reportedly got blurry, and those details led some people to wonder if Kanye had been closer to Diddy's private circles.
Club Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was...
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Well, I'm saying...
Than most realized. Katt Williams has said for years that the parties connected to Diddy weren't just nightlife events. They were, in his opinion, initiation settings, places where rising stars were tested emotionally, pressured, or watched closely by powerful people. According to Katt, once you stepped into those rooms, you stepped into a world where freedom wasn't simple anymore. To him, Kanye's presence around those circles, combined with multiple lawsuits and his long struggle after losing his mother, paints the image of someone caught inside something bigger than fame itself. Katt believes Hollywood uses emotional pain, power imbalance, and fear to control artists. Not literal contracts, but psychological pressure. He often says that when an artist tries to speak openly about what they experienced, they are labeled unstable, mocked, or pushed into isolation. And Katt understands that himself. He has faced ridicule and legal trouble for years, even though some of the topics he mentioned, like Diddy's private lifestyle or celebrity secrets, later appeared in headlines in ways that made...
We got to get your take on, Kanye West. He just threw out his most disturbing tweet yet, based on a song he put out, saying that he was providing fellatio to his cousin up until the age of 14. Do you feel like he's just trolling at this point, or he's really letting out some?
I think he's just telling it all. The problem is he's telling it too late. If he had been more honest about his proclivities and the thing that he got, there's a lot of pharmaceuticals involved with Kanye. There's a lot of interesting special doctors with special medicines. If he had told everybody a little sooner, now they're trying to get him fixed and all set up for a conservatorship. See, that's the problem when it comes to serving God. You can't do it halfway. You got to go all in. You can't negotiate with the devil, not even for a second. You ain't gonna have his aha moment. It hasn't gotten here yet, but it's coming. It's just sad watching how people really have a hard time just accepting the truth. These are all devil-loving sodomites who are here to make sure that our people don't break free from the system.
His earlier comments sound less outrageous to people. Katt's view is that Kanye's story isn't about madness, but about awareness. He believes Kanye is trying to walk away from a system built on emotional cost, and that his pain speaks louder than his fame. But the public is divided. Some people believe Kanye's comments about sacrifice and control come from stress or mental strain. Others think he is speaking openly about things most entertainers stay silent about. For every person who says Kanye lost it, another says he finally found his truth. Katt stands on the side that believes Kanye knows too much about how the industry works. He suggests that the same people who once boosted Kanye are now trying to push him away because he refuses to stay quiet. And now that Diddy's empire is collapsing publicly, some people feel the entire system around him is showing cracks for the first time in years. When you step back and look at the timeline, the pattern is what grabs people's attention. Kanye's mother passed in 2007. His fame skyrocketed shortly after he moved through circles connected to major power players. Years later, lawsuits involving several industry names started appearing. And through all of it, Katt Williams kept warning that the entertainment world depends on silence, loyalty, and hidden pressure. Katt argues that none of this points to one single choice. It points to a much bigger machine, one built on influence, secrecy, emotional leverage, and the illusion of control. So when Kanye walked into Diddy's trial, he might have been doing more than showing support. He might have been signaling that no matter how far you run, certain shadows follow you. That is how Katt explains it, and he has been saying similar things for years. According to Katt, fame isn't just about raw skill. It's about who holds the power, who watches the rooms you enter, and what you're willing to sacrifice to stay successful. In his view, Kanye's journey shows the emotional cost, losing peace, losing reputation, and losing stability, all while still fighting to find his own voice again. Maybe that's why Katt says Kanye was forced, not in a literal sense, but in an emotional one. Because in that world, staying silent isn't always possible, and real freedom isn't guaranteed. So the big question Katt always pushes back to the public is this: did Kanye rise only because of his talent, or did he rise while carrying a price no artist should ever face? And if that emotional cost exists, how many other stars are dealing with the same struggle right now?